All right, I want to prove to you that the system is not broken. It's working exactly as it was designed to work. It's not faulty, it's not malfunctioning, it's not failing. Injustice is a built-in feature. And I want to start with this right here. This is the Michigan judge actually setting a bond for a man who reportedly, and I'm not sure how accurate the reports are now because I've seen too much that makes me question, but reportedly, this man stabbed and seriously injured 11 people at a local Walmart. And he's going to get a $100,000 cash or surety bond. We're just going to go through this, but I want to show you exactly how insane that is. Because we know somebody in the auditing community that got a $75,000 bond, and he was the one who was assaulted by a cop. He didn't do any assaulting himself. Listen to this.
So, contrary to the statement in the praxis, 6.106, the court's not required to essentially give a 10% or a cash surety bond. I believe that it is required for the court to set a bond. Subparagraphs 1A and 1B do not apply here, as we don't have a defendant charged with treason, murder, or a violent felony. And at the time,
he's not charged with a violent felony after seriously stabbing 11 people with a knife.
He was not on probation, parole, or release for another violent felony, nor is this a CSC or not robbery or kidnapping. So we would ask the court to set an appropriate cash or surety bond. Thank you.
So the court is very concerned about the allegations in this complaint. Certainly is one of the most heinous accusations from an individual that's been before this court in 30 some years.
Now, just in case you couldn't hear her because it is super muffled, she says, this has been one of the most heinous accusations from an individual that's been before this court in 30 some years. And she's going to set a bond of only $100,000, which means if it's a surety bond, he can get out with 10 or 15%.
You know the tobacco. Y'all like have the tobacco company, and you're selling cigarettes with fiberglass and chemicals in them just to kill off the population. You know, and you can't really accuse me of anything if you're doing that. You know, so.
Okay. So I'm going to mute you for right now because I need to let you know what my decision is with regard to bond. Mr. Gilly, your bond is going to be a $100,000 cash or surety bond. Conditions on the bond are that you may not use nor possess any alcohol, any illegal substance, or any controlled substance.
So they give him the parameters of this bond right here. And I don't know if you heard what he said, but he's like, you're allowing the sale of tobacco that's killing all these other people. I'm just killing somebody with a knife. You're killing a whole lot of people, so you can't really say anything about me. But the crazy thing is that Sergeant Brian Fahey was able to spit in the face of Sean Paul Reyes from Long Island Audit. If you don't know about that, I'll leave a link in the description for you. Sean Paul Reyes was the one who was assaulted, got the whole thing on video, showed all the troopers on the scene, and he's the one who got arrested. His cameraman got arrested, and they put a bond, a surety bond of $75,000 on Sean Paul Reyes, who was victimized. This guy did the victimizing and seriously injured 11 people with a knife, reportedly, and only gets a $100,000 surety bond. Tell me where the justice is on that. Right here, Good Morning America does a milquetoast interview with the guy who saved the day, used his own personal protection device to save a whole bunch of people at Walmart to keep the stabbing from happening to more people.
Throw the knife that way! Throw it away!
This morning, a hero who helped stop a man accused of stabbing multiple people at a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan, speaking out exclusively with ABC News.
I didn't think of anything other than trying to get him away from people and get him isolated and get him to put the knife down.
Former Marine Derek Perry says he was checking out at the Walmart Saturday afternoon when he heard a commotion.
A lady was like screaming for her son, and all the employees and patrons were clamoring, trying to run in different directions.
The suspect, 42-year-old Bradford James Gilly, fleeing to the parking lot. Perry and
Speaking of fleeing, he can be freed with only $10,000 or $15,000 down. This guy who mercilessly victimized 11 people can potentially get out of jail faster than his victims can get out of the hospital.
Perry and others dropping their groceries to surround the man. Perry pulled his gun. It's legal to open carry in Michigan.
I don't know why Perry is holding his weapon like that. That's just weird to me.
Fortunately, there was kind of like a mob mentality, and some very disturbing things were being said on how to deal with the situation. And I had to block all of that out and focus on him, because I ultimately just wanted him to put the knife down and back away until law enforcement got there. I did not see myself as any type of judge, jury, or executioner. I just wanted everyone to be safe.
Did he say anything to you? Were you able to kind of get a state of mind?
And I can see in his eyes that he was wild-eyed, and he did not look like he was in his right mind. And he was saying, "They told me to do it. They told me to do it, and call 911." I said, they're on their way. They're coming.
On Monday, Gilly formally charged with terrorism and 11 counts of assault with the intent to murder.
Terrorism, 11 counts of assault with intent to murder, $100,000 bond. Make that make sense.
Pleaded not guilty to all charges, telling a police officer before the arraignment he did not want to participate.
Do I have to do this? I don't want to.
Never once, Perry says, did he consider actually pulling the trigger.
I took time to actually look and listen and try to understand his mind state and see that, yes, I am in a position to do something very rash, but it's ultimately my decision to not do it as well. Just de-escalate the situation, try to get him to surrender on his own accord.
Perry.
Hey, cops out there, are you listening to Mr. Perry? De-escalate, be calm. Pulling the trigger is the last thing on your mind. Can you learn anything from this guy?
Who works in a hospital, says he doesn't feel like a hero.
The only thing that separated me from the other gentleman that had stepped in as well was what else I was carrying in my hands. I think I would have ran out there or walked out there and helped either way. It was just a moment of, I've got a duty to protect.
Cops wouldn't have. I know 376 of them from 5 different agencies who would have done absolutely nothing, even as they were waiting for backup. And when more backup arrived, they would still stand down and do nothing. But not Mr. Perry. He sprung into action. Not one bullet was fired. Not one collateral damage catastrophe happened. And nobody died. Nobody was tased. Nobody was even hurt. Hey, sheriffs and police departments, are you listening? Are you taking notes? Now we're going to hear what Gilly's brother says about him.
And we are learning more about Bradford Gilly and what he was doing leading up to Saturday's events. Our Allie Baxter joins us live now from the Content Center. And Allie, you spoke with Gilly's family today.
Yeah, Maya, I talked to his older brother, Shane. He says he was at the beach when people started sending him photos of what turned out to be his brother, Bradford, being arrested.
But there is a backstory to this, and it's put our family through hell.
The man you see here being loaded into a sheriff deputy's car is 42-year-old Bradford Gilly, the man accused of stabbing 11 people at Walmart Saturday.
We knew this was coming, but not in this form.
But how did Gilly get here? As more information comes out about the mental health issues
we knew this was coming, but not in this form. What the heck?
Gilly was fighting, his brother, Shane, sheds light on a battle that's been lifelong. Starting with what Shane says was a bad reaction to a combination of drugs that put him in a, quote, permanent trip when he was 15.
We were staying in the Ronald McDonald house down in Grand Rapids while he was being evaluated, and he never came out of it.
Shane says his family was overwhelmed for the next 28 years trying to find long-term placement for his brother in a mental health facility.
and there's nothing available, and there has been nothing available. There's only temporary spots for him, and he would get into a temporary spot, get medicated for a little bit, and start doing really good, showed good signs to the doctors, and they said, well, we have no reason to hold him. He's doing good.
Gilly's vagabond tendencies mean the family was getting calls from law enforcement all across the country.
We're trying to track him down. We got police looking for him for wellness checks. We'll get calls in the middle of the night from the police in Pennsylvania that he's running down the highway naked.
In 2016, according to Emmett County Circuit Court records, Gilly believed someone was buried alive at Greenwood Cemetery in Petoskey, so he decided to dig up the grave. Several other headstones were shoved over in the same area. Those charges were dismissed and allowed him to plead not guilty due to insanity.
After 28 years of witnessing his ups and downs and his disconnection to reality, and talking about whether it be alien abductions or, chickens being spayed or neutered or something like that, like, what are you talking about, man? This is a true insanity case.
Before Saturday,
we've got a genuine bona fide insanity case, and the judge decides, you know what? Let's just set it at $100,000. They could put up 10% and he could be out tonight if he wanted to be, if somebody wanted to put up that kind of money.
His mass stabbing incident in Grand Traverse County. 10 days ago, according to Mackinac City Police, Gilly argued with an employee at Mackinac Family Market and was asked to leave the store. An employee told police Gilly pulled a knife out of his pocket when he was outside, but did not threaten anyone. And in Petoskey on July 24th, the Department of Public Safety officers talked to him about loitering. They noted, based on concerns about his welfare, they petitioned Emmett County Probate Court for an order to place him in protective custody.
This has just gone on so far and so long that, like I said, you can't throw any more flags. You can't wave any more signals. You can't make any more smoke signals. Like, there's been fire here for so long.
Shane had this message to share on behalf of his family to those affected by his brother's alleged action Saturday.
To the families that have all been involved and the witnesses and everything, again, a big apology from my heart. All I can say is we've tried to get this under wraps for a very, very long time, and we've just been ignored.
So the key takeaways from this video: Derek Perry was able to apprehend and isolate a real criminal who actually did real harm without firing a shot and without hurting anybody in the process. And this guy, a genuine insane individual who harmed 11 people, seriously stabbing and wounding them, gets a $100,000 bond to secure his freedom, while Sean Paul Reyes has a $75,000 bond set on his head after having been assaulted by Connecticut State Trooper Brian Koptua Fahey. Does anybody else feel like they're living on the set of The Twilight Zone? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next video.